So in this reading from the Revelation of St. John the Divine, we see in heaven, in kind of the God space that awaits to break out into earth as it is in heaven, that the triumph of God is already being lived. What this passage from the book of Revelation and many of these passages in Revelation that kind of say, kind of in meanwhile in heaven, this is what's going on, reminds us that the victory of Jesus and his resurrection has already been won. Evil has already been defeated, and that in a sense the earth is just waiting to find out. And of course, we as followers of Jesus, as those who know him as our friend, as the beloved of God, we know what the end of the story is. We know that the victory has already been won. We've read tomorrow's newspapers, and we got the secret. We got the secret. And everybody else, they don't know. They're reading today's newspapers. They can't see it, but we're reading tomorrow's newspapers when we read the Revelation of St. John the Divine. We're reading about tomorrow's victory of Jesus. And so we live in light of that victory, and we can sing the songs of that victory that are so beautifully given to us in St. John the Divine's Revelation. Blessed be God. To him belong the power, the honor, the glory, the majesty, the praise, the thanksgiving. We give all of that in our worship because we are participating in a victory that's already been won. And this sense of the combination of the already and the not yet is given to us in when the elder says, "Now who are these?" And it's, "Sir, you know." He says, "These are those who have made it through the great trial, whose robes are washed white in the blood of the Lamb." A paradoxical image, right? White robes washed, bleached white with blood from a lamb, right? And what that is alluding to, what is that's trying to depict, is the reality that even in the midst of our suffering, even in the midst of our blood, the crucifixion, that even in the midst of our passion in this world, we can know the victory of the Lamb that has already been won, the Lamb that stands has won slain, that we live in the present age as those who are both in the travails of death and of suffering, but also know the joy of victory. And that simultaneous existence, the simultaneity of that existence of both those who suffer and those who are victorious, that's what this is presenting, and those who wash their robes white in the blood of the Lamb. So all of us, as God's people, as Jesus's people, we read tomorrow's newspapers, but we still are in the suffering and the travails of this world. We're in solidarity with the oppressed. We're in solidarity with those who are wounded. And we, even in the midst of that solidarity, that pain and that suffering, we also know a victory. And so this is how we participate in this vision. We are those whose robes are being washed white in the blood of the Lamb. That in Jesus' suffering and in his solidarity with our suffering, we also know his victory in the midst of this life. And we seek to make it present and anticipate that victory and start the victory party through love and mercy shown to others that will be vindicated when dawn comes tomorrow. The Revelation of St. John the Divine. I looked, and there was a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, from all tribes and peoples and languages, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, robed in white, with palm branches in their hands. They cried out in a loud voice, saying, "Salvation belongs to our God, who is seated on the throne, and to the Lamb." And all the angels stood around the throne and around the elders and the four living creatures, and they fell on their faces before the throne and worshipped God, singing, "Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be to our God forever and ever. Amen." Then one of the elders addressed me, saying, Who are these robed in white, and where have they come from? I said to him, Sir, you are the one that knows. Then he said to me, These are they who have come out of the great ordeal. They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. For this reason, they are before the throne of God, and worship him day and night within his temple. And the one who is seated on the throne will shelter them. They will hunger no more and thirst no more. The sun will not strike them, nor any scorching heat. For the Lamb is at the center of the throne, will be their shepherd, and he will guide them to springs of the water of life, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.